Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the hottest wrestling YouTube show on the planet, in the galaxy, in the multiverse. Doctor Strange ain't got nothing on us. This is the West Coast POPCast. I'm joined, of course, by the main man, Zack. How you doing?
I'm doing super fantastic. I had a whole bunch of hard tacos from Taco Bell, so I'm doing all right.
Very nice. And I'm here, of course. I missed, I think, the last two episodes. But if you haven't seen last week's episode, go check it out. It is one of my favorites. I wasn't there, but I was so sucked up in the episode, I had to keep asking questions and flooded the chat. So check it out. Great episode. Knock is out this week, dealing with some family stuff, getting some time off. We'll see him back hopefully next week. But this week, we've got a great show lined up. Let's just jump straight into the week in review and start off with the show. I hate that this is always the first show we do because we don't like it, but it's what we gotta do. Monday Night Raw. Zach, what's going on?
First off, just so you know, all episode long is promo school. So we will not be calling each other by our names. We'll call each other by nonsensical things. You got that, Left Twix?
Gotcha, peanut butter swirl.
Love it. All right. We'll at least do this segment while smiling. More Seth and Cody stuff. Cody faced KO. Rhea turned heel. Vince McMahon came out to congratulate Austin Theory after he took the title from Finn Balor. And there was the sloppiest wedding I think I've ever seen in wrestling.
The sloppiest. That is to some people that would be a compliment. So I'm sure they would absolutely love that. Supersonic X, how are you doing, my friend? Yes, Knock is out this week. He'll be back next week. Yeah. So what do you think about Austin Theory as U.S. champion? You think it's a good move? Do you think it's premature?
This is a great move. It's just done on the wrong guy. And I'm pretty sure Finn might be leaving at the end of the month.
Oh, is his contract over at the end of the month?
According to people who are watching the live chat of Rampage, they let me know that's what they say.
All right. I mean, it wouldn't be crazy. They severely undervalue him, and it's crazy. And they don't give him what he wants. He wanted to go NXT UK a long time ago, and he still hasn't gone.
Yep.
It's crazy. Anything else from Raw that matters?
Not really. I mean, Vince coming out was the main thing. It is a push. It is a very good thing for Theory and new talent. So I really do like it. But that wedding, if you want to watch it, they got big pops when Tamina moved over by Dana Brooke, and then they went right back to the original thing. It was the stupidest, like sloppiest segment. I don't know what happened.
Fair enough. I guess we could talk about this on Raw, even though the brand split's kind of what it is. Congrats to Randy
Mhm.
Orton for 20 years. Everyone's giving him praise. Everyone's giving him flowers. Triple H gave him a nice shout out on social media. And have you seen have you seen the latest RK Bro shirt?
Yeah.
It's
Yes, I did. Very 420 friendly.
yeah. On the I guess a tale of them allowing marijuana in WWE. There's like, fuck it, we're going all out. Uh
Might as well. He is having a lot of fun too with Chad Gable. So
that's good. I'm glad he's been a serious character for so long. I guess he can enjoy this little fun break.
right.
Supersonic X saying fans are borderline complaining about Finn Balor losing the U.S. title. I believe it's right move to some people. Um, yeah, I it sucks that it happened to Finn, but I kind of knew that U.S. title reign wasn't gonna be anything special because they're not doing anything with him. Can't tell.
Right.
And he was losing to Austin Theory before he won the U.S. title, so I kind of thought he'd lose it to him at some point.
Yeah.
Cool. NXT.
NXT 2.0. Uh, so I had like no power entertainment or internet for a while, and it didn't get the first hour of NXT, and I was kind of glad it didn't because when I watched the second one, I realized why I call it 2.0. Grizzled Young Vets are out. They lost. I think they're just getting name changes because they have their indie names still.
Mm,
But
I mean,
Wesley Oh, go ahead.
No, I mean, it's just that's such a long period of being that. Why? I get why they change it because they do it to everyone, but I don't know. It's just so weird.
Yeah. Wesley's singles competition now. He lost to Zion Quinn and Roxy, now known as Roxanne Perez. They had a package that shows her match is coming up next week. And then backstage, what's her name? JC James said, no, your debut is tonight. So she debuted, Roxanne Perez. She got some good shine. She got a nice Roxy chant. And honestly, why not just call her Roxy? ROXY.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would have just said, "Hey, give us your original Roxy." Like, I think that's cool. And if she debuts on the main roster, they're gonna cut her name to Rox anyway, or Roxanne. It's gonna be one name.
Right.
You're just giving her a last name for no reason.
Exactly. So silly. And then Tony D'Angelo now has a crew. Um, two guys jumped. I forgot who they jumped. I got over it. I can't remember. But the announcer is like, "Who are these guys? Who are they working for?" They fucking look exactly like Tony D'Angelo. You know who they're working for. Come on.
Oh my god. Yeah. I miss God, I really NXT Black and Gold was amazing, but damn, I did not value it as much as I should have. Like,
Right.
if
I
knew
get
what's
it was
going
getting a
on.
little stale, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And lastly, Braun Breaker is in a ridiculous program with Gacy, who apparently has magical powers, is kind of like going through this mirror thing that reminded me of Far From Home with Mysterio. I can't. I can't. Poor Braun. Just whatever.
Are you a fan of wrestling people having magic powers? Because I mean, Undertaker did have powers. Bray might have had powers. I'm not too sure.
I am. It's just it's got to be the right people, and this dude's not the right one. When you're doing a cult leader and then you're doing special powers, it's got to be the right person. It's not.
Okay, so what if Zatanna from DC? Would you buy someone coming in as Zatanna, a female wrestler coming in, and she could do actual magic?
Yes, especially if she could do even just sleight of hand magic live in front of the camera, and then you do the other stuff post production. I'd be 100% behind that as a Tana character.
I feel like that's what Anna Jay should have been when she started out, because she came out as like a magician for some reason. But
yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have to hit up NXT at some point to just give them the idea. But anything else from NXT before we move on?
No, that was it.
Sweet. Next up, AEW a Dynamite. I believe this is your second or third week in a row doing a Dynamite stream.
Yes, might be my last because my internet just can't handle existing. But yeah, Eric joined and it was a lot of fun. Thank everyone for watching.
Yeah, it was an okay episode. Of course, the big headline is what this episode's named after, the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. I don't know how forbidden the door can be when it's been open for months and we keep saying it over and over. But you know what? It's happening officially. It's a pay-per-view. New Japan, AEW. Lots of dream matches already being discussed. A lot of people want to see Keith Lee versus Tomohiro Ishii. Who knows? Maybe we'll get it. But with
that is a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pretty much hit it. There's a lot of speculation on what the matches are going to be, but
there are, I think a lot of people are expecting like AEW versus New Japan, but I think we're going to get a lot of not a lot, but we're going to get inter-promotional matches. So there will be AEW people fighting AEW people, New Japan versus New Japan people.
Yeah.
So we'll see what the plans are as they build it up. Anything else? Anything on Dynamite catch your attention this episode?
I kind of like forgot what happened on Dynamite already. If you have any kind of reminders in the chat, let us know. But there's so much wrestling, something got pushed out of my brain this week, and that was it.
So the first thing I remember is the thing I hated the most. Eddie Kingston announcing his match with Daniel Garcia. Was that on Rampage or?
Yeah. Oh man.
Okay.
So we'll talk about it on Rampage, but I wasn't.
Ooh, that's a shame. There was Sammy and Ty Conti being heels, which at some point, maybe next episode, I tried all night last night to come up with a segment where we discuss face and heel turns, because that is my, I'll say, third biggest problem with AEW is that I don't like how they handle face turns. I don't buy Scorpio as a face. I don't buy Ethan Page or Dan Lambert as a face. I guess Sammy and Ty, like I said, it's easier to turn heel, so I guess you could just buy it. But Supersonic in the chat saying, back on Roxanne. Roxanne Perez had a great vignette. I'll have to check it out. Did you think it was great?
I did. I actually thought it was well done for someone coming in from the independent scene. And again, they made it like someone made it for no reason, basically, because they just had the match that night. But it's fine. It was a good vignette, but it was just meant for next, to promote next week's match.
Gotcha. Roxanne might change her name to Roxas. Kingdom Hearts fan, maybe. Who knows? The Tiffany Stratton and Sarai feud is just getting dull, and that's the end game for all of this. Sarai didn't connect with fans like Asuka or Aew, and fans like Tiffany Stratton just for her looks. Any thoughts on that?
I'm glad my DVR didn't catch that, because I don't like that feud. But Tiffany Stratton is actually really good. She's a good athlete, and she's good in front of the camera, so she's hitting all the notes that she's supposed to. I have no problem with her. The Sarai thing is a production of what we talked about, maybe like with Zatanna. She has a gem, so she's all like meek little schoolgirl until she comes out of the curtain, and the gem turns her into her like superhero persona.
Okay. And New Japan x AEW just got interesting. However, a lot of people are also expecting Stardom getting involved. That actually is a good point, because if they do this promotion, does that mean it's all, not promotion, sorry, pay-per-view, does that mean it's all men? Because New Japan doesn't have women. Is that going to be like their arguably biggest pay-per-view of the year, just going to have no women? Or so yeah, I hope they get Stardom in that case. That would make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
But Dynamite, I honestly can't remember what else happened. Yeah, it was an okay. I remember it being an okay episode. That's all I guess the last match, I think the coffin match, was good.
Yes. Just the spots with the coffin, I don't think either guy knew what to do with. So it was a good match, and then the stipulation made it awkward.
Right. Which that's kind of sad to hear too, because I think the coffin match is going to be Darby's like specialty. So if it's going to be, he has to know what he's going to do.
Yeah. And that's fine. The last one was great. So he's just gotta, just figure it out with the right person and have another good one.
Sure. All right. Yeah, I honestly can't think of anything else from Dynamite, so I think we are good to. Oh, that's actually, this is something I want to talk about. Supersonic X, thank you for reminding me. Britt Baker cut a promo by just burying the entire AEW women's division. Okay, so I kind of thought that when she did it, I was kind of torn. Because she did, but at the same time, that fits her character. So I don't know. Where are you at on that?
That is dicey. You kind of can't do that when you're getting ripped on for your women's division in the internet chats, because it's true. She almost has to lose the tournament now to show that there are women better than her.
Right. I completely agree. Yeah, because I mean, even before this, we've talked about multiple times, like, who's really there. And later on, when we get to my segment, I'm actually going to show the entire women's roster. It's, yeah, I think WWE can get away with that, because if Sasha did that, then Charlotte can come out and remind her of all the accolades she's got. Bayley can come out and remind her that she carried the pandemic. Bianca can be Bianca because she's amazing. But AEW can't do that.
Right, exactly. They have women, especially if we bring back Asuka too, if someone like Sasha did that and called them out, they can just come out and take them to the limit, even in a 30-minute Iron Woman match. Like they have the talent there to do that. AEW has a lot of green talent still, so they can't have someone just come out, cut a promo, or even do a 30-minute match.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, I'm not to take anything away from the women who, did wrestle these matches, but AEW hasn't had a one-on-one, no gimmick match with two women that we talk about. Every match that we praise the women for has been like an Extreme Rules, Lights Out. They don't really have the star power right now to just wrestle a match and, get talked about.
Right. And hopefully Deeb and Sheeta do that for us this Wednesday.
That's true. All right. Let's go on. While we're at it, let's just go to Rampage. Zach, what do you think about, what are your thoughts on Rampage?
Well, my first thoughts are, you're not supposed to use my Christian name, Eric.
That's right. I'm sorry. Mr. Penguin, what are your thoughts?
And I just used yours.
Exactly. Should be a point system.
I know. I'm grading on a curve. Speed bump. All right, Rampage, Cole and Ishii. Did you watch this match? Because I just have a simple question.
I just saw like a 5-second clip. I might go back and watch it.
Okay, it was slow, but I'm not familiar with Ishii matches, so I didn't know if it was intentional because it's Cole wrestling an Ishii match, and that's how it's supposed to be.
I'm gonna say he is a slower, but he's a slower, but I don't know how to say this. Slower but bigger, harder version of Samoa Joe. Like, Samoa Joe can wrestle a strong match, but he's also agile.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you take away like agility from Ishii but add strength, then I think that's his usual style.
Okay. And it was a fine match. It's just, you're used to Adam Cole, jumping around like Ricochet Rabbit. So it was fine. Good thing from Cole. Jay White coming out was fine, helping. I guess they got to build this up for the pay-per-view. But Hook spoke. He spoke. Danhausen had Lay's potato chips, and Hook and Danhausen are going to, I think, exchange blows pretty soon.
That's right. They did. But so I'm confused about that because I thought Hook spoke on Dynamite. Now that I remember, didn't Danhausen come out and be like, "We're gonna fight" at some point? I could have sworn I remember doing that.
I thought he just walked past him, especially after he got cursed.
Oh, you're right. He just walked past him. You're right. Maybe I'm just always thinking of Hook, so I just imagined him speaking.
You always imagine Hook speaking into your ear, Eric.
Exactly. And for some reason, he always sounds like Gilbert Gottfried. May he rest in peace. I would have loved the dub of Hook sounding just like Gilbert Gottfried, like giving a promo. Oh man. Dattila, how are you doing? She's letting us know Ishii is wrestling Jonah tonight for Impact Rebellion. Okay.
Oh, that's actually, he is. So news and rumors. I just had he was going to be showing up for the next TV tapings instead of tonight, but that's good to know.
Yeah. Okay. I might look up the highlights for that. Jonah, I haven't been following Jonah since he left NXT, so see what he's doing. I thought he'd be doing more, honestly, but gotta get back into the flow. Primetime, what's up, man? Anything else from this Rampage episode, Zeus?
Eric, I was trying to get back into the Rampage, and I was trying, but I couldn't because you interrupted with the chats, and here's what else happened. Gilbert Gottfried as Hook had me hilariously cracking up. I couldn't deal with the problem child. 3 should have been made. Eddie Kingston and Daniel Garcia. This match didn't do it for me because it was Daniel Garcia wrestling to help Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston got put over by Daniel Garcia big time. It's a very slow moving match. And if they want to do the sports entertainer route with Daniel Garcia, make him be wrestling like a sports entertainer. He 100% wrestled like a mat wrestler. So that's an easy fix. And then if you want to, I don't know, just have him wrestle like a sports entertainer because we know him as not that.
Right. I still don't understand. I don't get why they picked him. He's the opposite of a sports entertainer. I don't know if in Jericho's mind that's like the joke, that's the reason, but yeah, I'm not down with Jericho's faction at all.
No. So this is news and rumors too. He was supposed to be part of the Blackpool Combat Club, but Jericho wanted him, so Jericho got him.
I'm sorry, that he better make this man a star then, because you're telling me he had a chance to be associated with William effing Regal, Daniel Bryan, who you could argue might be the best technical wrestler ever, and Jon Moxley. Like that's oh my god.
Daniel Bryan name dropped Garcia, Yuta, and Moriarty for a specific reason, because that's what in his mind they thought they all agreed on was going to be the faction. But what Jericho wants, Jericho gets.
It would have made perfect sense. It would have been great, but oh well.
Yeah. And lastly, Jade fought Shafir in the main event. I'm glad that they put Jade in the main event. They need to keep putting her in the main event, especially on Rampage. But again, the curse of you naming a title after your network, the TBS title defended live on TNT.
Yeah. I mean, you got one job. That's if you got a title, just keep it on that channel.
Well,
no.
You are so correct, Jack in the Box.
Well, are you ready? You know, it's been so long since I've actually watched SmackDown. I forgot how the song goes.
Sweet apple pie, Eric.
Well, are you ready for some sweet apple pie over on SmackDown Live? What's going on SmackDown?
Flair and Ronda. This is actually funny to me. They did a live contract signing again just because the other one had to be edited. So it was like, you're really tempting fate with this. But that's fine. Got Drew Gulak on TV. Woods beat Butch. Butch ran off again. He looks like a little kid when he runs off. It's very funny. Gunther beat Teddy Goods in a squash. And what else? Banks and Naomi are having a great time. So Natty and Baszler are getting involved with them. And another heartbreaking tale from Lacey Evans. I gotta say, oh my God, I can't even. It's like I think the writer's room is preoccupied. They're not worrying about Raw, obviously. They're preoccupied with writing every terrible thing that could happen in your life and putting it in Lacey Evans' story. If Lacey Evans going through this stuff, this is like real stuff for her. I'm just saying, like this is all like the worst shit in the world has happened to Lacey Evans. So kudos to her for getting life together when life rocket launches lemons at you every day of your life.
Yeah, props to her. Big ups to her.
God, like I have like I don't know. I'm gonna cry one of these ones if she keeps doing this.
I swear, man. I swear. Anything else happening on SmackDown?
Xia Li turned heel, and the one thing maybe highlight of the week during Riddle and Jey Uso, Jay was hitting Riddle with chops. Pat, always great McAfee. Big chops to Riddle, whose lungs already took a beating this week. Nicely done, Pat.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Is he the best commentator in WWE right now?
Either him or Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett is very smooth. He can be a play-by-play guy or a good heel.
Okay, I think that. All right. Let's see. Are there any other shows outside of WWE that you got your eye on?
I did not watch MLW this week, and I still enjoy not watching wrestling on Thursdays.
Very fair. And one of these days I will get back into NWA, but not today. Not today. With that, I think we are all set to go to news and rumors. But first, Supersonic X, Butch continued walking off like he's getting ready to get released. I mean, that's a possibility. It's a very sad and true possibility.
Yes, it is.
Do you have any news and rumors you want to share with the class, Mr. Mustard? By the way, you called me by my government name earlier before you started SmackDown. I'm deducting that.
No. Let us know in the chats how poorly we're doing at my promo school this week. Try. Yeah, the Daniel Garcia thing. Bray, Eric, Redbeard, and Adam Scher were together in a photo that you can see on our Instagram stories. Posted, they're doing the thing, and forever for Brody Lee. All Out may not be in Chicago since the new pay-per-view is going to be there with New Japan. So they are looking at putting it in Toronto, Canada. So that'll be a big deal because they only have kind of big places that they're looking at in Toronto.
I'm actually insulted by that. I've said in our group chat that I think Tony Khan is having an affair with the mayor of Chicago because he keeps going to Chicago over and over. Now you're telling me that he's fucking Justin Trudeau. Why is he not coming to Los Angeles?
He's got another family in another country.
Sorry, real quick. Supersonic X letting us know NWA USA Today saw the debut of Angelina Love. Okay, she's over in NWA.
Okay,
good for her.
Yeah, I like her.
Sorry, I cut off your news.
That's okay. I only got a couple things. Darius Martin of Top Flight is injured again. He said it's not wrestling related, but reports he'll be out for another lengthy amount of time. LA Knight has a new stable that he's a manager of, not wrestler. It's called Night Model Management, and it features Mansoor as of this weekend and Mace.
Yeah, that is a toss-up because I'm sure he's going to work his hardest, and nothing against Mace or Mansoor. They seem like good people, but they aren't exactly pushed people. It's like, here, take these two people that we don't do anything with and do something with them.
Yeah, hopefully LA Knight can elevate both of them because, I mean, they are good workers. So.
Yeah. And did they ever finish like Mansoor and Ali? Did that ever reach a good finish? Because I was actually kind of enjoying keeping up with that.
No, it didn't. Mansoor was in the Lumberjack match on SmackDown, but otherwise he's really not on TV at all.
That's a shame.
All right. Last thing I got is this September, the AEW video game titled Fight Forever should be coming out. And with that being the title, Tony Khan came out after the TV tapings this week and had the crowd repeatedly chant Fight Forever so they could use it for promo work for the video game and in the video game. So if you were there this week for Dynamite and Rampage and you sat through, I don't know how long it was, Tony Khan made you chant Fight Forever, you are in the game.
Very nice. Yeah, I like I said, I hope this game works out because if their first game sucks, then I mean, as toxic as the wrestling community is, you do not want to fail the gaming community.
Oh, no.
Ay. I've got you touched on some of the things I had, but I've got WWE wanting to re-sign FTR after seeing all of their success, which we talked about on Dynamite. I don't think FTR is going to do it. No matter how much money there is on the table, I think everything about that experience from all their shoot interviews left a sour taste in their mouth.
Yeah.
And plus they might be the top tag team in the indie scene right now, or if you want to call AEW indies, I don't know, but they might be the top tag team in the world outside of WWE. What else have we got? We've got Tony Khan doubling down on his anti-AEW Twitter bots claim. I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast.
We didn't.
So okay, let's just. Well, you know the whole story.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone who doesn't know the whole story, let us know in the comments. But basically, Tony Khan claims that he did an independent study and that there are Twitter bots that are purposely, I guess, ruining or corrupting the search algorithm so that if you look up AEW, you see unfavorable things. And he hinted that someone in Connecticut, wink wink, is behind it. So, my first thoughts as soon as I heard this, if you have an independent study, why would you talk about it before you got the results back? Like, you're just putting yourself in the spotlight for no reason. What are your thoughts?
This is so made up and just like bizarre. Uh, I don't want to insult him with. I'll just say this. He reminds me of Quaid's character in Independence Day about the aliens, but in this case, he's not going to be right.
But okay, so here's the thing. I don't know if I believe he's right or wrong because I mean, because bots are a thing, but just the way he came out about it was, I find that the most comical thing of all. Like the way he came out, like as if he's a fucking conspiracy theorist.
Right.
Like there could be truth behind this, but the way he just delivered it just completely ruins all credibility. Um, and then of course, you know, the wrestlers came out and made fun of it. Becky saying that all of her anti-Becky chants were bots, and Joey Janela saying it was all him. He's the bot mastermind. So I don't know.
The only way to save this, if they are able to keep this going until Ali gets released, and then 90 days after that, that's how you save this.
That is perfect. I would love that. That would be perfect. If they did that, then I feel like everyone would have to like apologize on social media and say this was long-term storytelling.
Yep.
Oh man.
Tony.
So this is news. I guess this is the true definition of a rumor because you're all gonna have to look this up yourself. But I guess Bray Wyatt has been sharing some bizarre images, which I mean that's just par of the course for him. It could be a new project. It could be him coming back. Who knows? I did not read the article. I'm just giving you the headline so you can Google it yourself. And I think I'm going to call it there. I think that's my news and my rumors.
All right.
Zach, how has your week been?
It's been okay. A little busy. Doing some fun stuff, though. Just stuff for the channel here. Doing some stand-up.
Very nice.
Would you call me?
Ah, damn. For those of you who don't know, Zach's promo school challenge is we're not supposed to use each other's real name. We're supposed to just nonsensical names. And I'm pretty sure we are both just blowing this. So Young Reezy. Or I guess Young ZZ.
Yeah.
That'd
just be a bunch of Z's, like sleeping Z's.
Exactly.
Be nice.
For my week, when I'm trying to come up with what to do for this episode, I found an article that I found very interesting. I wish Knock was here for this one.
It's not about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, is it?
Oh God, I can't follow that. I literally, one article says case going perfectly for Johnny. Next one, Amber Heard looks victorious. I don't know what's going on.
These are two of the worst human beings ever. I don't see how either of them should get a job in Hollywood ever again. And like Will Smith's slap is like, I don't agree with it, but like I would give this man a franchise right now before I give either of these two even like a fucking PA job. Unbelievable, these two.
I cannot keep up. All I know is there's a clip going around of Johnny on the witness stand, and Amber Heard's lawyer is asking him the dumbest questions. He looks like an absolute idiot, and Johnny Depp is just back talking to him the entire time. So this trial is crazy.
It is.
But while that's happening, I found an article I found interesting that I'm gonna make Knock rewatch this segment because we have discussed that AEW's women's division definitely needs work.
Yes.
So, I'm going to pull this up right now. Thanks to a website called Daily DDT. They published an article about AEW's utilization of the women's division by numbers. I don't know if that's the best picture to use when you're trying to be serious, but hey, whatever, you do you. So basically, they took, this is gonna be very hard for you guys to read. It's already hard for me to read, but they took every match that happened this year so far in AEW, 422 matches total, and of those 422, only 129 of them featured women competing, and that's not including. Oh, actually, no, sorry, that is including Dark and Dark Elevation. That is. 150 matches on television, only 34 featuring women. That's 23%. 272 matches on YouTube with 95 featuring women. Let me see if this part is mentioned in here. In 32 televised shows this year, only 2 have featured more than one match with women involved. And I'm pretty sure we have mentioned both those shows on this podcast. Like, it's such a special occasion that we make note of it. Over on YouTube, that's rarely the case. With 31 documented recordings this year, every card but 4 have featured at least 2 women's matches. So they get their bulk of women matches on YouTube. But even then, it's still not as great as it should be. And according to AEW's website, the roster is 19.4% women and 80.6% men. So, I'm going to get your opinion about this in a second, but just to help verify that ratio and percentage, here we have the AEW women's roster. We've got, every row contains 4 wrestlers. So here you got 8 wrestlers first off. So that's one. Just so everybody understands how big a difference this is, when I screenshotted this, I purposely trimmed it down to 2 rows. If I did that for the men's, it would take me a lot more screenshots. I had to scroll a lot to get past all the men. Here are all the women. Abaddon, Anna Jay, aka Britt Baker, Bunny, Emi Sakura, who is not on TV as much, Hikaru Shida, Jade Cargill. Jamie Hayter, getting TV time now with Britt. You guys can see who all is there. Leva Bates, not really on TV that much, maybe Dark. Mercedes Martinez, who's right now more of a Ring of Honor thing. Paige Van Zant, who's just getting on TV. Penelope Ford, every now and then. Rebel, well, she's Britt's sidekick, so I don't know if we can really call her a full-time wrestler, even though she does wrestle. Riho, on and off. I don't think I would consider her full-time. Like, Brock Lesnar might have made more appearances than her last year. Serena Deeb, now, injury kind of cut her off. Otherwise, I think she would be a bigger part. Toni Storm just debuted. And Yuka Sakazaki, who I honestly don't remember her last match, to the point where she is 0-0-0 in her record.
That's my AEW record.
You are in the rankings officially. So the big point is, like I said, like I honestly wanted to screenshot all of the men just for comparison of how many men they've hired, but honestly, it would just be way too much. So, I guess the question is, how do you fix this? Can we even fix this? Can you even out the ratio of women's appearances on AEW TV? Is it crazy that they have hired so many less women in AEW? What are your thoughts on this?
Good segment, bubble. This goes back to, I can't remember where we talked about this, but last week in the first hour of Raw, it was more time on air for women than all week for AEW. So I'm not like praising WWE, but they do a good job with their women most of the time. If WWE is doing a better job than you, then you got to really recognize something is wrong with you. Like, so this is actually a good read. I can't really speak highly of the women's division. And again, I'll bring it on back to Britt Baker winning the title. That was not the main event. When you had the biggest crowd reaction for that star, bigger than any other reaction for anybody at that time, you didn't do that. You didn't do a good job with her or Thunder Rosa the night after or the week after show as champions coming out. I don't think the same time goes into it. And like what you said, Britt should have been Kenny Omega level, given Kenny Omega spots. It almost should have been 1 week one week the other gets the main event or the bigger segment, and it's very visible.
Agreed. I mean, that's what's crazy about Britt is she is giving amazing work. And every time they do something big with her, I can't help but think this could have been bigger or it could have been more consistent. Like Britsburg being on Dynamite, I almost want to say it was the second to last segment. Maybe third to last, but it wasn't prominent. I forgot they were in Britsburg.
Right.
Until
that should have been the kickoff show because it was a match that all knew Britt was going to win. That should have kicked off the show. They should have taken time with it. They could have had more fun with the football players too. It just mishandled. Unreal.
Right. And then we're going to jump in the chat real quick. Penelope has been MIA. Penelope deserves so much better. We'll get to the others in a second. But yeah, looking at the women who aren't in the title scene, I'm going to say, yeah, they deserve more. Like I'm going to pull up the roster real quick again. I honestly cannot point to anyone besides Thunder or Britt. And I guess now Serena and Sheeta, they're having a great feud right now. But I couldn't tell you any other feud that I really am excited for with the women.
Right. And the thing about the the Penelope comment, they were doing a good job of building her as someone who could have been a competitor, but then they just dropped her. Like, this is why people complain about the bloated roster. All of a sudden, someone's just gone after it seems like they're pushing them. And then you got to be like, oh, yeah, when was the last time Penelope was on? Next time she's on TV. And that hurts the character. It hurts the division. And honestly, now with Penelope, she's almost relegated, since she is one of the AEW originals, to being the next Bunny, who is the next Barry Horowitz full-time jobber.
Yeah, completely agree. And I mean, and yeah, some people like Supersonics will say Sheeta's title reign is borderline forgotten about. I completely agree. It's crazy. The main reason I really want to do this is because AEW is my favorite promotion, and I want it to be good. But like you said, if WWE is doing better with their women's division, that is a serious problem. This is the division that bullied Mickie James. This is the division that, if you want to go even more recent, I'm not a big fan of the stuff they did with Lacey Evans and her and Flair. That was really weird for a while there. I mean, stuff they are not. They are the best at their women's division, and they shouldn't be. Especially when they don't care about it.
Right. Honestly, what they're doing with the women's tag belts right now with Sasha and Naomi is one of my favorite things in wrestling right now, just because it shows how much fun they have. So you don't need to give everyone a title, a world title. You know, maybe they should bring in tag belts for AEW, because like, look at how the TBS title is elevating Jade Cargill. Maybe they do need, I'm not a big fan of titles. I think you can storytell and you can put on great matches, and that can be your thing. I mean, Daniel Bryan and Bryan Danielson is a great example of that. But I really don't know how to sum up what they should do besides, I don't know. I just know how to point out that they're doing things very, very wrong. And it just seems like easy fixes, but they're not going to do them.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody can solve the problem of women's wrestling, it's two men on YouTube. But just leave it up to Mr. White and Mr. Black. You're Mr. Black. But in the comments, Fat Laces pointed out Sakazaki fought Kylan King months ago. I don't remember that. Was that on Dynamite or Rampage? I don't remember that either. I feel like I remember her popping up at one point, but like I don't want, if we're gonna call Brock Lesnar a part-timer, which I don't know if he is anymore because he's actually done a lot of work this past year, then we gotta start calling out people who aren't stable on AEW. And he also says, I thought after Bunny's build would have launched her in the main event scene, but she's just back to jobbing.
Right back to it, the complete opposite direction. And it's so simple. It's put more women on your TV. Make sure you have at least every week. Just say, all right, we need at least 2 backstage segments and 2 matches at least, and then you can build from there. But you have to have a better minimum for your women than 1 match per 1 show, and sometimes it's 1 match with the women per week, and that's just awful. I do not count the YouTube stuff as it's exposure on television. That's what counts. And I don't know. I know a lot of these women are happy because of getting paychecks and everyone's friendly backstage, but you put women on dark elevation, that's bad parenting in trying to use a psychology of, hey, here's work in Universal Studios in front of a YouTube audience. Cool. Can I be on one of the 2 main shows on cable? No, we got you working. So you're working this week. It's compensating, saying you're getting the exact same amount of work, even if you're not on TV. It's just, it's a weird mind game to me.
Right. Yeah. I just feel like, I mean, I don't know, the stuff with Big Swole also should have been like a sort of a red flag of like, hey, someone is not really looking at this women's division with I don't know, unbiased or smart eyes. Like, if Tony Khan is the ultimate decision maker on who's like, if he thought Big Swole wasn't doing work, she was. I really thought she was going to be AEW's women's champion at one point. But I don't know. Maybe he really needs to have a woman in the room who can tell him like, hey, you are not making a good call here.
Yeah. Big Swole, the stuff that she was doing with Britt, I thought she was going to be a lot bigger than they just dropped her. They just dropped so many women, and it's just unreal. You got so many people that you bring in, like Ruby. I thought, I know Ruby's having fun, and it's a good environment for her, but like, I just wonder what kind of promises are made to people that when they bring in women. And maybe this is what like Lita saw in AEW and why she went back to WWE. Maybe she knew the difference, and I don't know. It's just, I'd love to have more women speak out about how things are ran. Not, you don't have to like bash AEW if you're in AEW.
Right.
I'd love to know the process more and like how they feel about, everyone just come out and like do the Big Swole thing. Just like let us know, because a lot of these women, this is their first contract. So they think everything's fine and dandy. But as viewers, again, you got 2 men discussing the problem with the women's division. That's got to be a fucking problem.
Exactly. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Fat Laces, now officially Mr. Pink. Your title has been accepted. And this actually is a really good point, Mr. Pink. Have you noticed since Tay is attached to Sammy now, Anna Jay is pretty much nowhere to be seen? That is a very good point. It happens in regular TV all the time when a female character is attached to a male character. That becomes their identity. Anna Jay, her character completely disappeared. And honestly, they had a very natural opportunity to make Anna Jay and Ty Conti a likable duo, and they just dropped the ball. So
they gave them music too. Like, what the just stick to something. Like, the focus of Tony Khan is so it's so minimal. He doesn't really have that much focus. So it shows. And again, this is why I complain about AEW and stuff, because it's just everything. The Pinnacle doesn't exist, but then now it does exist. I don't know. There's so much non-focus, and it just sucks when it's in a storyline, but it's terrible when it's with a whole roster. Your whole division lacks focus.
I completely agree. Well, if you guys want to look up this article, it is Daily DDT, AEW's utilization of the women's division by numbers. Yeah, let us know. What do you think of the women's division? Thank you for joining us in the comments. That was a great discussion. You guys made some great points. Maybe we'll hit up Ella J. Ask her, like, what does she think about this? I'd love to hear her opinion. She's a very smart individual. And that is that segment. Thank you for helping me, Captain Planet.
You got it, iPhone 6.
What have you got going on? What's the segment of today for you?
All right, for today, we're going to play around around with the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. I just want to get this out of the way before we get into this. Can wrestling promotions please start putting some fucking effort into things? I'm sick of WWE not doing anything with their stages for even their big shows now, and they're just doing the same stages that they use for Raw and SmackDown. AEW is kind of doing that too, but this poster for the Forbidden Door has the Doctor Who phone booth in there, and it has the rings that Doctor Strange uses. Terminus did this a lot with Black Panther and some other stuff. All these wrestling promotions are doing things with pop culture stuff. I feel like they're just doing it to get other fans in. So they're trying to like fish for comic book fans to like kind of get into their thing. Just be original with the posters and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just cheap.
Yeah, I did not. I was very surprised when I pulled up the poster. I didn't think that would be it, but someone got paid for it. Someone did it.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, now that you say it, yeah, that is Doctor Who's font on the yeah, it's crazy.
Mm.
But yeah, some more effort.
I've seen you and Knock make better thumbnails. I'll say that.
I'll never forget that. Sorry, that graphic NWA made with the exact same font and everything that I used to use is. So I guess they just don't care.
Oh, they don't. And whatever. We'll get into their video packages when wrestlers come out all using the same fucking like video package from Adobe. But whatever. The thing that we're gonna do today is a pay-per-view usually has what? Let's just say 8 matches, right? So we'll pretend that this Forbidden Door pay-per-view. Computer, don't shut down on me. We'll pretend that this pay-per-view is for all companies. So all companies are part of this Forbidden Door pay-per-view, not just New Japan. So let's just make 8 matches that we think are going to be the best matches that AEW could get if it was all companies for this pay-per-view.
Okay.
I'll say one right now, and I think it actually might happen. And let me know if you want to put this on the list of the 8. Punk and Kenta.
Sorry, Punk and who?
Kenta.
Oh, okay. Also, play along in the chat. Let us know your 8 match. You know, give us some matches or mix them up, whatever.
Yeah.
I think that I could go with that. I think Kenta can. I know Punk doesn't need 100% to be carried, but he still kind of does. So I'm down with that.
Okay. That's match number 1. Any on your mind that, or anything that pops into your mind right now? Pencil sharpener.
I'm gonna say, I just got it. I'm gonna say, Jonathan Gresham versus Brian Danielson versus Zack Saber Jr.
Ooh.
And I want this to be like, if I were building this, I'd almost want this. It's not going to be the main event, but I want it to be built as one because I want it to be the match to determine the best technical wrestler of today.
I like that one a lot.
I don't know who takes the L, but
let us know in the chat who you think takes the L. I don't know either because, oh man, I don't know. Maybe
if they just
I forgot this.
They're also technical. I'm sure they can find like some hold where all 3 of them tap out at the exact same time.
Right. Or just pass out.
Exactly.
Maybe they can just put Raw on the Titantron and they all can pass out. I'm going to go, if you want to add anyone to this match, Eric, or if anyone in the chats wants to, I think this would be a fun one. Miz versus MLW's Richard Holiday. They are slightly different, but they have kind of the same ego. And also you could have Maurice in there and Alicia too. So I'll say that one for one.
I'll give you points for not just going with MJF. I don't.
MJF reportedly doesn't want to be part of this pay-per-view.
What? Well, that's why. Why would? That's crazy.
He could be trolling, but that's yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, he is a bit of a dick on social media, and cost some people money by not promoting his own cryptocurrency. But you know what? That's fine. I don't really follow Richard Holiday, but I do it just for Alicia too, I guess. I want to see what she does outside of being an interviewer. I've never watched her like actual wrestling stuff.
He's a pretty good valet, I'll say.
Okay. It's so weird how like, I mean, that's how I guess enticing wrestling is, that it just brings people in. Simon Miller started training. Alicia Tute's now valet, so I guess, once you're close to it, you want to do it.
Yep.
I'll approve that.
Cool. What do you got for another one?
How about I'll toss out Carnage Rages. Eddie, hang on, did not come up. Curse you, StreamYard. Eddie Edwards, Eddie Edwards versus Samoa Joe versus Tomohiro Ishii. Okay, so my only problem with Eddie Edwards is I remember when he injured. Someone was injured. It was him or Sammy. They did that baseball spot, and someone's eye got completely ruined.
Oh yeah.
Ever since that spot, I've had very bad opinions of. I don't know. I guess I'm blaming the wrong person. I just don't think that spot should have existed. So I kind of stay away from Eddie Edwards. So I'm willing to greenlight that if I can replace Eddie with Keith Lee, just so we can get Keith Lee on the pay-per-view.
Oh,
I want all bigs, triple threat.
I will 100% go with that. Keith Lee. I love the Edwards part, Carnage Rage. But
if someone can find me an Eddie Edwards match to convince me he's good, because I don't watch Impact. So find me a match for Is It Worth It, and I will judge Eddie Edwards. I'll even do it on camera.
Nice. Let's make a champions match. Just because I love Roman Reigns right now, but I don't think he's I wouldn't put him against Kenny Omega because Kenny would wipe the floor with him.
Agreed.
I would do champions, and I would have Roman. I can't remember if Hammerstone is the champion or not, but
I think
if you want to bring in more promotions, okay. So bring in more promotions, put Hammerstone in there. And can you think of 2 more champions to throw in that match with those 2 guys? Even if they're not their main champions, just a champions match of top guys.
But different promotions. Okay. You know what? Actually, I know this is still under the WWE umbrella, but I'd want Volter in there. Not Volter, sorry. Ilya Dragunov.
Oh.
Just because, God, NXT UK needs promotion or they're gonna get canceled.
They do. They are just hemorrhaging money every week.
Right. Which is I'm assuming like every quarterly report, someone just like hands Vince every single file except for NXT UK. Okay.
All right. If you can think of one more person, otherwise in the chats, anyone else that would fit the bill, just mainly to go with. I don't want to say guys they can go. It's just they're more like clunky matches sometimes.
Right. Also, thank you, Carnage Rage, for the correction. Eddie Edwards was the one who got injured. I just don't like that spot. So everyone involved in that spot gets my ire. Who else? So sorry. So you want people who are clunky, like because I've seen Hammerstone. I'm not impressed by his wrestling. So
no.
Okay.
So champions that are like that. Like I would put Brian Cage if he was the FTW champion.
Okay. Damn. The one time the FTW championship could have helped him. I'm sure there's gotta be a champion I'm not thinking of. Who's I guess there's the ROH TV champion, but that's Minoru Suzuki.
Who's the NJPW champion? Does Trevor Murdoch still have it? I put him in there.
Yeah. I think he is still champion. So wait, no, it's not. It's Matt Cardona. It's 7 belts broski.
Oh, that's right. He just powerbombed a fucking midget last night.
He said he's open to going back, by the way. So I think they're gonna re-sign him one day, and he'll go back to being a mid-carder, unfortunately. But he'll do it for a lot of money.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like if you put Cardona in a match with Roman Reigns, that's a squash waiting to happen.
Right.
Mr. Pink says add Ricochet. He's IC champion.
You know what? Fine. He'll make the match more exciting because I think this match would get boring after 5 minutes. Ricochet it is.
Okay.
Nice pick.
There's also Mr. Pink's recommendation of a tag match: House of Black versus God versus Briscoes. Which House of Black members though?
it's good to get people on the card.
Yeah. Ooh, actually, okay, I'll say this. How about House of Black versus New Day? That storyline, I mean, well, assuming Big E is able to return one day,
Right.
all three, Power Positivity versus the House of Goth.
Oh, I like that. I like that. So we only have two matches left. This is an AEW show, and we don't have women on, so it's kind of normal.
I was
But
about to
since we
say.
just talked about it, let's do the last two women's matches.
Yes, please. Uh, I am
There's
gonna.
there's the easy one with the what's
No, no,
that?
no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. There's the easy route, which I don't want to put on here, because I think Alexa Bliss has moved on with her character via her tweets. But I was gonna say Bliss versus Abaddon versus Holodead.
I'd take that. I like that.
Anyone to replace Bliss with, just because I think she's moved on.
Um, does it have to be because so what I was gonna pitch was I wanted to Dora the Explorer wrestler on there, who I just found out existed last week. So what if we? I would love to see her in a match against those two, like just two horrific, like horror characters versus Dora. For some reason,
I'm okay with that. What's her name? Lulu?
I
can't
believe
remember.
so. Someone let us know, and also give me matches of hers to watch because she is now my obsession.
Lola. That's what I think it is.
Lola, okay.
I think it's Lola. So all right, that's it. Lola, Holodead, and Abaddon. Let's get one more. Let's get a real banger. And this is our Forbidden Door. Damn it! This women's match is gonna main fucking event.
Whew, all right. So there's the obvious Chelsea. What's the one that Knock likes? It's Britt Baker versus Diana versus Chelsea. Is that what it was?
I think so. I remember there's different types of matches we could have too. We could even do some kind of gauntlet match so more women can get in there.
That's true. Um, how do you feel? Because it's fucking hilarious that we just finished talking about AEW hiring more men, and we just booked a damn pay per view. I mean, it's clearly we're a part of the problem too. Apparently,
Yeah, it's the mindset.
would a Royal Rumble type thing fit in there? Or even if it's like a 10-woman battle royal.
I think that should be added. I think the main event should be something that's, I don't want to say a dream match, but just something
Right.
that, like, if we're opening the Forbidden Door, like, let's mix it up. Let's Freddy versus Jason this shit.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like Oscar Bianca has to be in there. Yeah. I don't know. Help us out in the chat. Someone help us.
Let us know in the chat what you think. What women's match in a Forbidden Door universe would main event?
I do like your gauntlet match idea, as does Mr. Pink. Because I mean, that is multiple dream matches in one. There's multiple mini matches, dream matches in one. If
Right.
because I mean that is my favorite thing about the gauntlet match is like when WWE gets it right and they actually put people that you want to see in the ring together for a certain period. So I think I'll put my vote to that, but I don't know. That would take a lot of time.
Right.
I this is harder than it looks. I guess fantasy. I guess booking a pay per view is not all gold dust and stardust.
Let's just, okay, we'll have a gauntlet match in there. We'll have a Rumble in there as well. The Rumble will kick off the show.
Okay.
We'll have a gauntlet match in there. We'll time it down, and this will be, we won't even pick the people because it's going to be like 5 or 7, let's just say like mid-carders or new up-and-comers just to give them a shine. Let's do a 4-way match for the main event.
Would you include legend Like past wrestlers too.
if they are still able to wrestle. So obviously, no one who's
Right.
past their prime or yeah.
I see. I'm leaning towards Gail Kim, but I don't know if she can still wrestle.
Right.
So for safety, I will say Trish because I know she can still wrestle
Mm-hmm.
because she is staying in tremendous shape. So I'll toss Trish in there, and that'll be my WWE pick. Deonna Purrazzo.
I'm gonna.
Sorry, go ahead.
Purrazzo. Yeah, no, Purrazzo's good. I was gonna say Tyra Valkyrie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's perfect.
Let's get one more in the fourth spot, and that is going to be our main event of the Forbidden Door pay-per-view.
Since you wanted a title match in there, would you take Thunder Rosa putting? Well, I guess she's not her promotion's champion anymore, so I guess the AEW Women's Championship.
I would have that. And I'd book her to keep it.
Yeah.
Thunder Rosa. Beautiful. And the crowd goes home with Thunder Rosa on top. There we go.
I dig that. All right. So I'm just going through these comments. Mr. Pink, I agree. Tired of the 10 women formulaic tag matches. AEW used to do that a lot in the beginning. It was way, especially like for women that we didn't know, it was way too confusing. But Carnage Rage saying that, I don't know why WWE doesn't want people in their 30s to wrestle for their company anymore, but they like guys like Bill Goldberg, who's in his effing 60s and still wrestles. My problem with Goldberg isn't age, it's that he sucks. I mean, guy can't wrestle. That's my problem with him.
Oh, and the copy and paste fucking promos. I'd get out of here.
Right. I've always said if I ever did wrestle and I injured anyone to the point where they can't wrestle, I would retire because I don't think that's fair. I'm not saying anyone else has to do that, but that's just how I feel. If I fucking did that to Bret Hart, one of the best of all time, I'm sorry. No, that's it.
Yeah, I'd be so apologetic. Like Bret Hart would never have to pay for groceries ever again. He'd always walk around with shiny shoes. Like, you injured Bret Hart,
right? And according to
you acted like it was just another day at work.
Exactly. He just was like, "Well, that's the business." It's like, no, it's fucking not.
I'm surprised he didn't say he was next. Wow.
Oh yeah. Well, I think that's our Forbidden Door. The door is open. It's been open, quite frankly, for I don't know how long, but let's just pretend like it's opening for the first time in Chicago.
Secondly, the Forbidden Door thing only exists with WWE because of copyright reasons and trademarks and music and character licensing. I mean, that's one company has a Forbidden Door, and actually they were one of the first to open it up. Like, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
I hate the term.
Agreed. After this, I don't want to hear the Forbidden Door anymore. Get it? It's very cool. Like, if you want to see dream matches, AEW is the place. But after this, don't use it anymore. After this, it becomes the norm.
Right.
All right. Been a good show so far.
Yeah, you're doing a good job, librarian.
Failed librarian.
Could have been the librarian.
I mean, this has been the promo school challenge. Is this the whole promo school? Is the names the promo school, or do you have
this is it. If you have anything else, I'm game. So it's up to you.
I think I had I deleted. I had a promo school thing set up like for last time we hosted, but I deleted it right before this because I was like, Zach's got this planned out. And you did. I just failed to complete the challenge because I just called you Zach again.
You know what, Picture Pages? I failed as well. We failed together this episode. We'll try this again one time. Maybe the guy who brought the episode together last week, when he's back, maybe he'll bring us together on this challenge.
You know what? Well, I'll toss it to him next episode. He has to do this. He's the only one who has to next episode.
It's tough.
It is. It really is. And I kept I forgot what movie like started this, the thing where it's like you look around the room and you come up with a name based on what you see. And I tried it and I think I said Mr. Mustard and that was the only one that I could think of. Like there's tons of shit I could have looked at and I fucked it up.
If you're in the chats, try this again with your friends or something like that. It's actually pretty fun. It's an old improv game that we used to do to warm things up. And yeah, if you want to be really ballsy, try it with your boss at work.
QPG, I guess. Unless you're quitting the next day, then go for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. That was episode 106. Don't be fooled by the ticker tape, which I forgot to change. This is not episode 100. It's 106. Thank you all for watching. Mr. Pink, thank you for joining us. Carnage Rage, Natilla, Supersonic, you guys, you all make the show what it is. You make it fun. I highly encourage, again, check out that article by DDT Wrestling. I think that Forbidden Door segment we just did really did point out that it is the culture. Like the fact that 6 out of our 8 matches were men's matches. It took Zack, enforcing the rule to put in the last 2 women's matches. So check it out.
It's crazy that, we're aware of the women's wrestling. Like you brought up a great segment and then we did what we did because that's the mindset. And it's just because every week it's mainly the men that get pushed, the men that are on the posters, or at least like the big shots of it. Raw and SmackDown, they have women in the background, but it's Cody and Roman. So it's it just goes back to exposure and representation. So we could go down the line about representation, but this proves a great point about it right now with something very inappropriate. It's so hard to do the promo school. But what Water Bottle said was in his segment was so spot on, and it just it even guys who know that this is a thing, the mindset's still there. So I mean, we all got to change together and get better and start to represent more women.
I completely agree, Back Scratcher. Yeah, so check out that article. And again, I can't say enough. If you haven't seen last week's episode, you gotta go back and watch it. It is entertaining. It's very telling, informative. It might be my favorite episode as a viewer. I wasn't a part of it, but I loved watching it and being in the chat. So check it out. And anything else you want to promote, Zack?
We'll promote the promoter that we had on last week. Tomorrow, if you are in Denver, Colorado, Lucha Libre and Laughs takes place tomorrow, Sunday in Denver. So if you are there, stand-up comedy and Lucha Libre wrestling, a lot of women's wrestling. I think the whole card is women. So kudos to Nick Gossard for booking properly. Eric, damn it. Gonna go into a joke about you wearing the new Bryan Danielson shirt, but I just ruined it by myself by fucking up my own promo school. I will say, I don't think I'm going to do Dynamite this week unless something changes, but I will be doing Rampage live. I won't be doing Rampage. So I'm going to have a guest host on this Friday, a special guest host. It is Screech from Saved by the Bell. He is going to be hosting Rampage, the full hour. Screech, Samuel Powers, not Dustin Diamond, rest in peace, but Screech, Samuel Powers will be doing the live Rampage stream. So be a part of it. Ask questions. Join the chats. Screech is coming Friday.
Y'all heard it here first. Check it out. He wasn't allowed on the reboot, but he'll be on the channel. Oh, man. With that, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon, all the typical YouTube stuff you've heard 1,000 times today. But Zack, where can they find us?
They can find us getting better with women's wrestling. I had something to say, but yeah, Eric, you messed.
Yeah,
both of us getting detention for failing promo school. That's where they can find us. We're awful at this.
And fucking Mr. Pink just gave me he said Mr. Freeze and Penguin was spot on. I could have just said that.
Oh man.
With that,
dang it.
Everyone have yourselves a great weekend. Thank you for watching.